Problem or two based off factoring is they want us to solve these by factoring, but what I want to do today is do these by the calculator. Okay, it's just going to help us out, take a little bit of a load off of us. Okay, so really what they're looking for on these problems is we're saying, okay, what are these numbers? Y'all remember this? Okay, what are these numbers that multiply to be the C value and also add to be our B value? Okay, so if I'm looking here, what are these numbers that multiply to be 3? We've got 1 and 3 are our numbers that multiply to be 3. Okay, what is 1 plus 3? 4, right? What is this number in the middle? 4, right? That's what I was supposed to get to. So we know that my factors would be x plus 1 and then x minus 3. Okay, and we're still equal to 0 because we're solving. Okay, this is also what bell work was on, right, but we hadn't really got that far yet because we took a day off. Okay, so we factored this trinomial, right, into two binomials. Okay, now what we want to do is set both of these equal to 0. So we would say x plus 1 is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. Right, so we're just setting them equal to 0 so that way we can solve. Okay, well, if I've got x plus 1 is equal to 0, how do I get x on the side by itself? Okay, we have plus 1, so I need to do the opposite, which would be subtract 1. Okay, and what I would end up with is x is equal to negative 1. Trevor, if you don't have a pencil, go grab one. I'll sit there. I'm going to write something down. All right, if I've got x minus 3, okay, what is the opposite of our minus 3? What is minus 3? What's the opposite here? What's the opposite? Huh? Plus 3. Y'all got to focus. All right, so now I've got x is equal to a positive 3. Okay, so I have x is equal to negative 1, x is equal to a positive 3. Those are my solutions where we cross the x-axis. Okay, so I've got x is equal to negative 1 and a positive 3 is my solution. That's how you'll see that written as a solution. Okay, if you struggle with writing these brackets, I might have told y'all this before, but the left bracket is just an S and a 2. Okay, the right bracket is a 2 and an S. Okay, and just put them together. S, 2, 2, S. And you can get a bracket pretty easy if you struggle with drawing those. Alright, but that's how it really wants us to do this. I'll probably work one more like this and then we'll move on to looking at it at the calculator. So we're trying to find these factors, right? So I'm trying to find out what would multiply to be 24. Okay, well I know 1, okay, well that does, we'll get there. But 1 times 24 multiplies to be 24. 2 times 12. 3 times 8. And then 4 times 6. Somebody mentioned it, I don't know who it was, but it is a factor. Alright, so now with these factors that I have, okay, I'm trying to figure out which one of these add to be 11. Okay, which one of these pairs add to be 11? 3 and 8. Alright, so those are my factors. I've got x plus 3, x plus 8 equal to 0. Alright, what's my next step? What did I do on the last problem after I got to this point? I make both of them equal to 0. So I would have x plus 3 is equal to 0. X plus 8 is equal to 0.
Minus 3.
Alright, then we would need to isolate by subtracting our 3. So doing the opposite, we would have x is equal to a negative 3. We would need to subtract our 8 on this side, and x is equal to a negative 8. So those are my two solutions. Okay, so my solutions are x is equal to, and I'm sorry I have a little bit more room since I'm split screening or whatever. Alright, so I've got x is equal to a negative 8 and a negative 3. Okay, as my solutions. Okay, that's if I were to solve these by factoring, which is a good way to do it. But one of the problems, or not problems, one of the, one of the things that people get stumbled by in this class is some people are not comfortable with their multiplication tables, right? I'm not asking you to raise your hand or do anything like that, but we don't multiply very well. So it makes this method pretty tough for some people. Okay, but one thing that everybody is good at in this class, because I see you do it every day, is you're good at typing, right? Whether that's on your phone, right? You're sending somebody a Snapchat, you're doing whatever, okay? Y'all all know how to type something in, right? Everybody should shake their head like this. Yes? Everybody look at me, shake your head like this. Everybody's good at typing, okay? So, come on now. All right, so that's how we want to solve these problems, right? We're just going to type these into our y equals because we can look at this on the graph. Because our solutions are when x crosses where we have our x-intercept, where it crosses our x-axis. Okay, so for number one, our parabola, what's graph, crosses the x-axis at -1 and 3. It crosses the x-axis at -8 and -3. Okay, and so we're going to use these, what's given to us to find these factors. All right, so let's look at number 3. Okay, so everybody needs to go to y equals on their calculator. Everybody goes to y equals on their calculator. All right, everybody should have a calculator now. I went over and grabbed some from my room in H. All right, so we should have some. All right, so we're in y equals. Your screen should look like this over here, right where my mouse is spinning. Okay, so you should be blank. None of these plots should be black. Okay, if you have a black plot, then you need to go up to it and press enter so that way it gets turned off. Okay, all right, so your screen should look just like mine. We're going to type this in. We've got x, okay, and then make that squared. So you press X, look here. If you don't know where X is, it's right next to your alpha button. I've got it highlighted in red. Okay, so we got X, and then we're going to square it. Okay, I'll press this x squared button right over here. You can either do that, or you can use this rooftop and press 2. Okay, but x squared. All right, so I got x squared plus x. Okay, and then I have -2. I'm just typing in, what did my problem say? Okay, so right now I've got y1 is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Okay, is anybody not with me at this point? Everybody's good? All right, you don't have to put equals 0. Okay, that equals 0 is basically what this y equals is right here. All right, so from here, if you press graph, we can see what it looks like. Okay, so you press graph, your graph should look something like mine. If your graph does not look like mine, then you type something in wrong on the previous part. Okay, and you need to make sure you go check that. All right, so just to make sure that you got it typed in right, it should be x squared plus x minus 2 in y1. Okay, and your graph should look like this. All right, now for me to find my solutions, okay, look at up here on this y equals, like we got all these buttons up here close to y equals. If you look at this blue right here above trace, and it's on your calculator as well, it says calc. It's just short for calculate. Okay, so I'm going to press second, that's your blue button, okay, right here. Second, trace, and it should pull up the calculate feature. Okay, anybody not with me there? So I press second, and then I press trace. All right, now, one thing you can call x-intercepts are zeros. Okay, so which one would I press? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? 2. 2. Okay, so I'm going to press 2. All right, and now it's asking about this left bound. Okay, and I promise we've got a lot of steps, but once you get used to it, you'll be good, right, Casey? All right, so do this with me. All right, so everybody's on second calc, you press 2. All right, the left bound tells me I need to be on the left side of this x-intercept. Okay, look at my mouse, right? My mouse is right here. This is where my x-intercept is. Everybody agrees? Where it crosses the x-axis? Yes or no? Shake your head like this. All right, so I need to be on the left side of that, basically above it. Okay, so go over to here, right? You see that thing flashing. You should be above the x-axis there, and you're going to press enter. All right, then it's going to ask about the right bound.
Hey, is it on 1?
Is what one?
Right there with that thing flashing it, or did it go to 2?
So we're just making sure we're on the left side of this x-intercept. All right, so now it's asking about the right one. Okay, well, if I went to the left for the left one, that would tell me I'm going to the right side for the right one. Okay, so now I'm going to be on the right side, but I don't want to go so far that I hit this other one. So I'm going to be in between, right? I'm going to press enter again, right? So I got enter. Okay, now it pulls up guess. Okay, you're just going to press enter again. You don't have to do anything when it pulls up guess. Okay, then it tells you 0. right? 0 is equal to -2. Alright, everybody got that? Everybody with me there? Alright, so that was one of our solutions. So for number 3, one of my solutions is x is equal to -2.
Hey, coach, I did that wrong, come here.
Alright, we're gonna do this a bunch of times, so just follow with us and make sure you got it on the next one. Alright, but we can see how many times does this cross the x-axis? 2, right? So I need to do this again to get the other one. So I did the left one first, so I'm gonna do second trace again to pull up calculate. Okay, second trace, then press 2 for our 0. Okay, so press 2. Okay, now I wanna look at the left, or the one on the right. Okay, so I'm gonna be on the left side of the one on the right. Here's where I cross, right? Everybody look here. Dietrich, hey, get here. Take your headphones out and pay attention. Take them all the way out. Alright, I'm gonna be on the left side of where our right x-intercept is. Okay, and I'm gonna press enter. Alright, so I'm gonna press enter there. Okay, when it says right bound, I'm gonna go to the right side of it. So I'm gonna be over here to the right. Everybody see this? I'm gonna press enter. Okay, when it says guess, press enter again, and it tells you what your other 0 is. X is equal to 1. Okay, so my solutions here was x is equal to -2 and x is equal to 1. And now I've just solved. Okay, and you really didn't have to do anything but just type it in the calculator. Alright, we're gonna look at a couple of problems like this. Alright, any questions there? Alright. Everybody's good? Okay, now let's look at number 4. Okay, so number 4, let's go back up to y equals and we'll clear out our previous problem. Okay, so number 4 says x squared. Okay, so I'm gonna have x squared, okay, plus 6x, okay, minus 27. X squared plus 6x minus 27. Your y1 should look like mine. You cleared out last problem and you're putting this in. Okay, what should y'all make on the Khan Academy assignment on this if all you have to do is plug it in the calculator?
100.
100. Alright, so we've got y1 x squared plus 6x minus 21. Alright, now let's go look at the graph. Make sure your graph looks like mine. Okay, does your graph look like mine?
Second graph or just graph?
Just graph. Just graph. Does your graph look like mine? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Alright, Coach Jackson, will you go help mine? He's got a different graph than what I've got.
Who's got it?
Mr. Jennings right there.
Let me see.
Alright, so this is what your graph should look like. Now from here, right, I'm pressing second trace to pull up calculator. Okay, and then I'm pressing 2 because I'm looking for the 0.
What's the equation? I can't.
It's number 4 there. Alright, so I've got how many spots where this crosses the x-axis? 2, right? So I gotta look at this 2 times. Now for my left bound, okay, I wanna take my cursor and go to the left side, right? Y'all see I took this all the way over
This
here.
graph needs to be small. How do you make it small?
Zoom 6, and that'll bring it back to standard.
Okay.
Alright, so y'all notice I've got my blinking, whatever this is,
Hey, I can't see mine.
you can't see yours, press zoom 6.
I already did it.
Let me see.
Alright, so we're on the left side, you'll press enter.
Yeah, that's what he's got. That's it. Let me see.
Alright, now we wanna go to the right side and press enter. So the right side of that x-intercept, press enter, then when it says guess, press enter again. Okay, what does it tell you your 0 is?
-9.
-9, has everybody got that?
No.
Huh?
I can't even see mine.
What's wrong with yours?
Let me get mine.
What you gonna type? All right, I missed the parts we used going to. What is it come out? She's graphing it. It'll graph, but then it'll come up after.
Here's it.
It's gonna say.
Just reset the calculator. Second plus sign, second 1, 2. Just retype again.
Retype it. Now, I think before the state test, they do fix all the calculated issues, like, I think, don't we reset them and
Reset
Chill.
them, they can mess them up during the test too.
this yours, this,
You
that's
wanna
right.
bring me some cupcakes Thursday? Birthday Thursday.
But the
Alright,
ducks,
but,
it's just-
look,
You good?
why can't,
Found it. You don't know how to type it in? You do know how to type it?
like,
Alright, see, look, you gotta keep going until you see it, cause you see, right now it's showing X is at -2, so this is way farther than -2, so we're just gonna keep scrolling until you see it. See, it's now coming up, alright, now you're on that left side, you press enter. It's gonna move a little bit, alright,
it's kind of still ducks moving.
alright, you didn't press the right thing. Alright, let's do this again. Let's do it. You're pressing second trace, and then you're looking for zeros, so you're gonna press 2. So left valve,
it's choice. Second choice.
now you're gonna go to the right side, press enter, and then do guess. Alright, you'll do the same thing over there. So we're good. Yeah, you got, this is just gonna square it, so you gotta still put your X and then do it. So,
You just move it with the thing.
alright, this just pulls up square, look, this is just square, every time you press it, it's just gonna square something. You still have to put your X and then do the square.
Alright, when you, Coach Pierce,
Alright, yeah, but you see here, we're on the left side, so you're just gonna keep going until you see it. Because this is all the way to the left, so this is now. Good. So you're on the left side there, and you need to go to the right, press enter. Enter again. So you see left, and right, on the left there, press enter. On the left side. Alright, press enter. Alright, now go under to the right side.
You talking about the movie?
Yeah. Press enter. So left, right, enter. That's fine, we're gonna have to go do that one individually.
Clinky.
You good?
You gotta,
Good?
you think this is easier than I look into the quadratic form? I'm not used to this stuff.
Alright, so we found our first zero at -9, maybe we cleared up some issues there, and we'll be able to go a little bit faster. Alright, but our first one was -9, that was our one on the left. Okay, we still have to find our one on the right. Okay, so Zay, we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna find the one on the right by pressing second trace again. So second trace 2.
second choice 2.
Alright, now,
Whoa,
I'm going to,
you just did the same thing I
just
did.
doing the same thing again, but now I'm looking for this one on the right, okay? So, trying to get the one on the right, okay, we see it crosses right here, everybody agrees? Okay, it crosses right here, I need to have a point on the left side, that's that left bound, so I'm gonna press enter right there. Okay, then I'm gonna go over to the right side of where, so basically, when you think about it, it's almost like below and above, kinda. Alright, but to the right side, now I'm on the right side of that x-intercept, okay, and I'll press enter again. When it says guess, pressing enter one more time to get my 0. Alright, my 0 is 3. Alright, so I've got an x-intercept at -9 and an x-intercept at 3. And that's my solution. Alright, any questions there? Everybody got what I got? Everybody's good? Alright, so let's look at another problem. Let's go up here to y equals, this should be getting better as we go. We should be getting more comfortable with it. Alright, so going back to y equals, clear out that last problem. Alright, now number 5 tells us we have x squared, so I've got x squared minus 10x minus 10x, okay, plus 21. Okay, so your y1 should look like mine, x squared minus 10x plus 21. Now look, I'm just getting these from the problem, so I'm typing in what the problem tells me. Alright, x squared minus 10x plus 21. Alright, from here, where's my mouse? There it is. Alright, you can go look at your graph, make sure your graph kind of looks like mine. Okay, if your graph looks way different than mine, then you type something in wrong. Okay, so everybody take a look at your graph, take a look at my graph, make sure it looks somewhat similar. Alright, now let's go find our x-intercept. So I'm gonna press second trace, then I'm gonna press 2, and I'm going to the left bound, right? So let's look at where my left bound is. Alright, so I'm bringing my mouse thing on the calculator right above this first x-intercept. This is where it crosses the x-axis. So I'm going to be on the left side of that, press enter. Then I'm going to take it and go to the right side of that and press enter again.
I'm gonna use this one.
Okay, when it says guess, press enter for a third time and it'll tell you your 0. Okay, which is where? When x is equal to, when x is equal to what?
Coach Pierce,
Yes, ma'am,
do you have Rashonda's rice?
I do.
Will you please send this student to the front of J building for just a minute?
Okay, she's on the way.
Thank you.
Where's your computer? What's wrong with this one? What's wrong with this one? What's wrong with this one?
What y'all looking
Sometimes it pop up no battery, but it's
I
still.
can't find it on this.
at? Tell you, I'm here.
I'm so confused. It's like,
What was you doing?
Let me see if you got that.
Coach, I ain't gonna lie to you, this right here difficult for me. But look though, so then, right? Alright, look. Alright, the thing ain't coming up.
Look,
You just gotta scroll till you see, right? It's always, it's always gonna start at 0. So if your notes over here, you can go to the right till you see. But then you want to be on the left side, press enter. Then be on the right side where it crosses, press enter.
see, I just don't.
Enter.
Yeah, sometimes, I think a lot of us, I just saw it a little, it might get a big number, you just have to keep.
Be on the left side, be on the left side, press enter, and then take it to the right side, press enter, press enter one more time, you got it.
I look like you key now.
Alright, this is a good point I think some people are getting confused about, so y'all look here. Okay, when you go to that, when you press that, second trace and then calculate, it's always gonna start you on the y-axis, it's gonna start you in the middle. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out which way do I need to move, well, my graph is to the right, so I'm starting here, and I need to start pressing right until I see it. Okay, if it was over here, you would start pressing left till you see it. Okay, so it's always gonna start off at 0, and you gotta figure out, do I need to move to the left or right till I see that? Alright, so that was our first x-intercept. Now let's find the other one. Okay, so press second, trace, 2. So everybody do this with me. Okay, when you get to Khan Academy and it's the first time you typed it in, you're not gonna understand how to do it. Alright, second trace 2. Now, I need my cursor on the graph. Okay, I need it to be on the left side of where it crosses. Okay, so I'm gonna press enter. Okay, then I need that second one, the right bound, to be on the right side. Press enter again. Okay,
I got that. So,
now you press enter for another time, and you get 7 as your 0. Okay, now I promise you, as we do this more, focusing, as we do this more, you'll start feeling better and better about it. But it's all about the practice of it. We might just go all class today doing this and not do any Khan Academy, so we get to practice.
no.
Y'all aren't doing the Khan Academies anyway.
I promise you.
Y'all just want me to keep putting in zeros?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Crazy, y'all all say, I'm doing it, but I've only done 3 of 12. Like all of y'all don't have a 40 average in here.
Look, this is good.
I'm not stepping on
Good,
toes.
you got a 50. Not just playing. I don't even know what you got. I'm just playing. Golly.
last time I checked.
Calm down, Priscilla.
Y'all chill out. Alright, any questions on, what is this, 5? Alright, any questions on 5? Everybody feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, let's look at 6. Okay, so go up to y equals. Okay, now you've got x squared. Focus. Alright, we got x squared minus x. So x squared minus x minus 20. Alright. Uh-oh, I accidentally put a plus sign. Alright. Now, excuse me. Go up here to graph. Okay, your graph should look something like mine. Okay, if your graph looks like mine, then you should be good. Okay, if your graph looks like mine, then this is where we're gonna do second trace 2. Okay, and I'm gonna start scrolling to the left until I see my cursor, alright? And I wanna make sure it's on the left side of that x-intercept. Okay, so I'm gonna press enter on the left side. I'm gonna scroll to the right side, press enter. Press enter a third time to find the 0 where it crosses. That's at -4. Okay, so for number 6, one of my solutions.
Like, why is it not graphing with these?
This one just said quick.
Like, I press graph and it's not doing anything.
X squared, you got x squared is plus x.
No, my x squared minus x
Oh, what was your
Minus
number we
20.
on? X squared is
6.
minus 20. Let's see, second.
That don't gonna be fine.
Alright, now let's look at the other one. So we're gonna go second trace 2 again, and we need to look at the one on the right. So you're gonna scroll till you see it. Keep scrolling till you see it. Right, we wanna be on the left side of where it crosses for the first one. Okay, press enter. Then we wanna be on the right side where it crosses for the other one. Press enter. Press enter a third time to get your 0, which is at 5.
How you clear the graph
So
out?
you got -4 and 5 as your solution. That was a bad bracket, but it's a bracket there, not some weird something.
How do you clear it?
How do you clear it?
I have to make it hers is not showing. I don't know why. Yeah, type in, how do you get it? How you?
Press 6.
6.
Just tell her to retype.
Alright, any questions on 6? Alright, let's look at 7. Okay, so 7's a different problem. Here we've got y is equal to, okay, so we've got x squared, okay, plus 10x, plus 25. Alright, so check your graph out. Does your graph look like mine? Okay, what do you notice about this graph? What do you notice about this graph? How many times does it look like it crosses the x-axis?
That's it?
Mine's still doing it.
What you mean? That's how it's supposed to be, when you press the second. 0. You just put it. Yeah, that's what you got press second.
How do you put x in there? Can you do it pop up?
I'm using
Alright. How many times does this look like it crosses the x-axis? Once, right? It looks like it touches the x-axis one time, right? So that's telling you that you're only gonna find one solution, rather than this was 2 solutions, 2, 2, 2. Well, this one only crosses one time. Okay, so that's all you're looking for. Alright, so now that we see the graph, we're gonna go second trace 2. Okay, now I wanna be on the left side of where we cross. Okay, so I wanna be on the left side right here. So you're gonna press enter there. Okay, then I wanna be on the right side of where we cross, which is right here. Okay, press enter. Okay, now look at our 0 here. Okay, what is that? We just call that -5. Okay, call that -5. Okay, so my solution for number 7 is x is equal to negative 5. And that's the only one, because that's the only spot where this is ever gonna cross the x-axis. Okay, that's the only time ever. Alright, any questions there? Alright, let's look at number 8. Okay, let's look at number 8. So, clearing out y1, we've got x squared. Okay, then we've got negative 8x. Okay, and then we've got plus 16. Alright, so once you get this typed in, your y1 should look like mine. Okay, and your graph should look like mine. Or if your graph doesn't look like my graph, then something's wrong, you need to let us know. Okay, 7 and 8 are similar here. How many times does this look like it crosses the x-axis?
Twice.
Once or twice? Once. Right, look. On this one, it's just barely coming down. It's gonna touch it one time and then it's shooting back up. Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna press second, trace, 2. Alright, got second, trace 2. Alright, we wanna be on the left side. So on the left side where it crosses, press enter. Okay, and then on the right side where it crosses, press enter.
5.
Alright, and then we're gonna call that one, not 5, right? What do we got here? What's my 0? Huh?
I ain't get there right now.
You got that?
What? Well, yours, I accidentally cleared it. Do that again. So trace 2.
Look, this is one above.
Yeah, you got 4 with a really long decimal, but what is this number really close to? Something wrong. It's close to 4, so that's what my solution is, right? We got x is equal to 4. Alright. You're still on the flash problem. So yours is right for the flash problem. That's why yours look good. Alright.
So that's probably like a multiple choice question, so that's it, like the choices, right?
Yeah, you might see choices on that, just kind of depends. Alright, any questions there? Alright, let's move on then. Let's see. The only other thing I want to talk about today is if these are not in standard form. Okay, remember, standard form for us is having it ax squared plus bx is equal to c, or plus c is equal to 0, right? So notice that on 17 through 22, none of these are equal to 0 like we need it to be. Okay, so there's a little bit of work that we need to do from the front. Okay, so this 21 is on the right side of our equal sign. I need to get it to the left. Okay, so if I need to get it to the left, I need to subtract it over. So what I'll end up with is x squared plus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. It's just like solving an equation, you're doing those inverse operations.
Where you get that other 20? Where you get that other 21 from?
Alright, so like I was saying, this is kind of like solving an equation on how we want to do our inverse operations. Okay, so we had a plus 21. If I need it on the other side, I got to do the opposite and subtract it. Okay, so I subtract that over and I've got x squared plus 4x minus 21. Alright, now with that, this is what we're going to type in. Okay, so go up to y equals, they clear that out. And you should type in x squared plus 4x, I should see more people doing this. X squared plus 4x minus 21. Okay, and that should be in y1. So you type in. Type in.
What, you still in Y equal?
Yeah, y1.
X squared.
Alright, so your y1 should look like my y1.
You can turn the air down a little bit, it's cold.
I'm hot. Coach Minga gets cold over there, so we gotta think about him too. Alright, so your Y1 should look like mine. Alright, now we should go to the graph. If your graph doesn't look like mine, you've typed something in wrong.
I got -21.
Okay, for your solution. Okay, it's probably not -21, you typed something in wrong, because it's not gonna go that far. Alright, so looking at the graph, yours should look like mine. Now we're looking for our x-intercepts. Okay, so second trace 2. Second trace 2. Alright, now go into the left side. Okay, so take our cursor, trying to get it all the way to the left. Okay, till we see it. Okay, now it's popped up.
Oh. Too still.
Alright.
Don't we hit underneath then?
Alright, so once you're on that left side, you're gonna press enter. Okay? Then we're gonna take it to the right side. Press enter again. And when it says yes, press enter, and it tells you your 0. Alright, what we get for our 0?
-7.
-7. Okay? So, one of my solutions for number 17, we can have x is equal to -7 as one solution. Alright, then we have to find the other one. Our other one's where it's crossing over here on the right side. Okay, so we're gonna do the second trace again. So second trace 2, and take that cursor to the left side. Mr. Parks, pick your head up, please. Alright, so take it all the way, okay, till you're on the left side of that x-intercept. Alright, so we're gonna be on the left side, press enter, then we take it to the right side, press enter. Alright, and when it says yes, press it again, and you get your 0 at 3. Okay, so your two solutions are at -7 and 3. X is equal to -7 and 3.
Which one is this? This the first one.
So that was 17. 17 there. Got it? Very good. Alright. So, same thing, kinda like on number 18. Okay, on number 18, we've got the 4x on the wrong side. Okay, we need it to be equal to 0. Okay, so I'm gonna subtract the 4x to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna subtract the 4x to the other side. What's up?
I thought you were gonna add.
Alright, so because this is positive, right, I gotta do the opposite. Okay, so since we had the +4, I gotta subtract. Alright, and I end up with x squared. Now, y'all remember, okay, standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, well, this is your b term, this 4x, so it's gotta be in the middle. Okay, so when you rewrite this, you want it to be in the middle. Okay, so I got x squared minus 4x minus 45 is equal to 0. Okay, now from there, this is what we've been doing all day, of typing it in y equals. Okay, so go back up to y equals, clear out that last problem. Okay, you've got x squared, alright, minus 4x, and then minus 45. Alright, your y1 should look like mine, x squared minus 4x minus 45.
You got to type in.
Alright, now, your graph should look like this. If your graph doesn't look like this, then you type something in wrong.
Oh, my James tripping, coach. I don't know what's up.
It doesn't look like mine?
No, nothing like
Yeah, yours looks similar, mine just has a little bit more room. Alright. Might need to zoom out a little bit. But yeah, that's what it should look like. Alright, so two solutions here, right? Crosses our x-axis 2 times. Alright, so we need to go to the second trace and then press 2. Alright, let's go to the left one first. So where it crosses right here, where it crosses our x-axis. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way to the left until I see that cursor appear. Alright, and I think I went a little bit too far. Let me go back. There it is. Alright, so I need to be on the left side. Okay, so it should look something like this on your screen as well. So on the left side, I'm going to press enter. And then on the right side of that x-intercept, I'm gonna press enter. Alright, press enter again to get my 0, which is where?
-5.
-5. Okay, so for number 18, one of my solutions is x is equal to -5. Alright, then I need to look at my right one. Okay, I need to look at my right one, so I'm gonna take this cursor, and I'm gonna take it all the way to the right. I need to press second trace, 2. Alright, and then I'm gonna start scrolling this all the way to the right. And it should take my screen with it. If not, I need to fix it, but should take me over there with it. There it goes. Alright, so I need to be on the left side of that x-intercept. Okay, like this, like what I've got on my screen. Okay, I'm gonna press enter. Then I wanna take it up to the right side of that x-intercept. Press enter. Press enter a third time, and you get your 0 at where?
9.
9.
See what
Okay.
See, I couldn't get mine cut off, because, you know, mine's cut off.
Yeah, that's all right, I'm
Alright.
just trying to get that point.
It didn't move over when you scrolled it?
Like, I could, but I couldn't see it, couldn't move the line on it.
Alright, so it should, whenever you go all the way over, it should take your screen. Not, we can zoom out, okay, so we can actually do this. So when you get in a problem like this, press zoom, and 3 is zoom out, and just press enter. Okay, and it'll zoom out for you. So that way you can see a little bit more of it and make it easier. Okay, so now you'll do the second trace 2. You're on the left side there, take it to the right side,
No,
enter, get your 0. But if you ever zoom in and out, you need to, after you're done with it, go back to zoom, and 6 is standard, so it's gonna take it back to normal. Alright? Yeah, because yours was messed up a little bit, because yours was off to the right, so you had a little bit of an issue there for some reason. I don't know why it was like that, but that's how you fix it.
Alright, let's go ahead. I'm gonna assign 3 Khan Academies for the day. Okay, so give me just a second and I'll have those up. So moving to Khan Academy.
Can you show me
Give me
something?
just a second.
What's the key?